All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our call with Bryce Effner. As always, please raise your hand and I'll unmute you to ask your question. We'll start with Tyler Donahue.
Hello, Bryce. How are you today?
What's going on, Tyler?
I'm doing well. Thanks, man. Curious, the last couple of days, as you've had a chance to kind of digest what happened Saturday, review the film, how much pride do you in the offensive line room take in what you were able to accomplish down in Auburn?
We take a lot of pride on it, but I don't think that was just an O-line thing. I think defense had an amazing game that game. I thought just overall, every position group had a great game, and when all those things come together, it makes it really easy on the O-line to have a great game. So that's definitely a team effort.
Rich Scarcella.
Hi, Bryce. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate it. Bryce, when did the coaching staff present to you that you would be used in as an extra blocker in some situations? And how well do you think you have played so far?
That decision was made before last year's season. If you look back, I was still doing kind of the same thing last year, rotating into a lot of positions. Same role this year. I'm happy to do it. I think I have been playing pretty well. I can always play better. There's always room for improvement. But I do think that that my role in the team is a significant one, and I do like playing all those different positions and fitting in. But I think I've played pretty well, and I think there's always room for improvement. So just working on, all that kind of stuff week by week.
Joe Smeltzer. Joe, we can't hear you.
Do you have me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Sorry about that. But Bryce, what would you say about the bond that you and Coach Troutwine have built since he became your position coach at Penn State?
Our bond. I love Coach Troutwine as a coach. I think he can relate to the players better than some older coaches, just because he's been more recently in the game. I remember when he first showed up, all of us were very interested in hearing about his times at Florida and just all the crazy stuff that was going on there at that time. And but since then, I mean, he's made me a better player, and he pushes me on the things I need to be pushed on, and he respects me on the things that I think differently about. And I think he's just an overall just a very good coach. And I'm happy that he's here, and I'm happy he's my O-line coach. And I think our relationship has really grew in the last 2 or 3 years.
Andrew Clay.
Hey, Bryce. Fans traveled really well down to Auburn. I was wondering what kind of your reaction was to that and whether or not you guys really fed off that.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Anytime we're at an away game, one of the first things we say on the sideline is, wow, there's a lot of Penn State people here. And, sometimes it's a little repetitive because we travel so well. But it's awesome seeing that many fans at away games. It's really a blessing as a football player at a college to have fans that travel so well. I mean, not a lot of people can say that. And I'm extremely thankful for the Penn State family for being able to do that and doing it. But yeah, just to answer it simply, I mean, it's a huge motivator to see, just that trickle of white in whatever stadium we're in. So it's awesome.
Tyler Donahue.
Bryce, we've seen you and Kaden getting your opportunities on the right side. How is kind of that give and take worked out between the two of you? And how do you think it's benefited the team as a whole?
Me and Kaden have an awesome relationship. I respect Kaden 100%. And I assume he respects me the same. and he and I switch off of those positions, and I think it gives the O-line a lot of depth. There's not as much, I would say, pressure or weight on one O-lineman's shoulders to carry the team. There's a lot of, hey, I can do this, you can do that. It's everyone has their roles, and we can just focus on what we need to do instead of what the other four guys are doing. So I think that rotation that we have is, especially with Hunter too, it's made our positions more comfortable. Like we can go into the game with less stress and just focus on the guy that we're blocking instead of, what are we going to be doing, 2 quarters from now or whatever it is.
Rich Costello.
Bryce, after the Ohio game, I heard you say something about coming back from where you were. And I was just wondering, did something happen in the spring or the off season? And were you in jeopardy at all of not playing this year? Did that ever happen? And if you were, how satisfying is it to be contributing how much you're contributing?
Well, I can't get into specifics about that, but I obviously, everyone has their troubles in the off season because, at the end of the season, it's a lot of wear and tear on the body. So I put in the work that I needed to in the off season and all the things that I needed to do to get right for this season. And I'm very happy with my progress. And I'm very fortunate that it wasn't something that could have been worse. And it was very fixable. And, I'm back and I'm playing and I'm very thankful. And that's all I can say about that.
Elton Hayes.
Hey, Bryce, thanks for your time this morning, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Hey, obviously a strong running game is of importance to the offensive line, something that's a source of pride. But, last game out against Auburn, Sean had it, wasn't sacked any. That's
important to the O-line. I know a lot of people that don't watch the O-line specifically, which unfortunately is a lot of people. They basically just look at the run game, and that's the indicator for how the O-line is blocking. So to have an amazing run game is awesome. We've really worked at it, and I think it's just finally clicking. So it's just amazing to see. And then with the sack thing, I touched on it briefly earlier, but again, I mean, that's a whole team thing in my opinion, because when you have, a good running back that, gets yards, and then you have a good drive start and like they're kind of pinned back more and they don't have as many opportunities to, pressure the quarterback or like do some stunts that they wouldn't normally do, then that makes it easier on the O-line. And yeah, I think the O-line blocked very well that game, and I'm very proud of, the performance we had on the field. But again, I think that has to, you got to give credit to everybody on that field for just having a great game. And when it comes together, it comes together. So.
Daniel Gallen.
Hey, Bryce, we were talking to Juice late in the summer, and he told me that your nickname is a Big Slab. I was wondering if you could share who gave you that nickname, its origin, and I guess whether you like it or not.
Well, it comes from my gamer tag, so I won't give the full thing because I don't know how many people are going to add me or whatever it is. But it comes from my gamer tag. So freshman year, me and Juice were playing a game together, or whatever it was. I forget. I think it was Red Dead Redemption 2 or something. And my gamer tag was Big Slab, a number. And he was like, kept calling me, Big Slab in the game. And I was like, just laughing. And then that kind of stuck throughout the whole season, with basically like him calling me Big Slab. And I think his username or whatever was Uncle Ruckus or whatever it was. So we throw those back and forth sometimes. So it's all fun and games. That's
Travis
funny
Johnson.
about that.
Big Slab. That's awesome. That's awesome. Bryce, I'm curious, when you guys as an offensive line group go back and look at the film from the last 3 games, have you noticed, I guess, has there been a pride factor for you guys in noticing the physicality that you guys have put on film? It looked like a couple times, some Penn State offensive linemen were on top of Auburn defenders at the end of some running plays on Saturday. Is that standing out to you guys?
I mean, yeah, we're always trying to put guys on the ground. I mean, football is an aggressive sport, and it's not hey, let's be nice this game. It's I need to do what I need to do for my team to win. So that's always a point of pride for the O-line. And I think with just these younger guys that we have coming in that are running, it's almost like I would use like almost the word like protector. Like we want these young guys coming in to, have a great running game and be able to explode off the ball and, run 80 yards down the field and score touchdowns, which is awesome for us to experience too. So when we got like young guys coming in that are like so eager to play and, just like perform, and like it almost takes, me back to like my freshman year when I got here. And like, I was just like eyes like wide open, like coming out of the stadium, like this is Penn State football. And like, I feel like you just want, the new guys coming in to experience that to the full extent. So when we're playing in games, I at least try and think about that. Like I'm not blocking for, my finishers or like to get a good performance out of me. I'm blocking so like the guys behind me can, score touchdowns and like have an amazing experience. Cause when they have an amazing experience, I have an amazing experience. So it's how it works in my head. That's just how I compute it.
Joe Smeltzer.
Right, so the 1982 team is going to be honored at Saturday's game. Let's say that for those players, some of them, it might be the only time they see you guys play this year. And my guess will be that's going to be the case for at least some of the players from the 82 team. But with particularly the players that's the only time they're going to get to see this 2022 Penn State team play, what do you want them to see from this year's Penn State team Saturday?
I want them to see just how much passion we have, because it's not necessarily a new team, because we're all wearing the same numbers. I think we have a plaque in our locker room. I don't want to butcher it, but it basically just says like the number on your back is yours now, but like 20 years from now, even 5 years from now, like that number will be on somebody else's back. And, it's a legacy you carry on. So when, the 1982 team comes and, watches us play, I just hope that they see how much passion and love we have for the game, and that, takes them back to when they were playing. And as long as, we make them proud and, represent Penn State football to the fullest, I think they're going to have a good time at the game.
Time for 2 more. Tyler Donahue.
Bryce, you mentioned the younger guys on this team. I'm curious if we can get an early scouting report, your assessment on Drew Shelton and then Vega. I ask about those two because they have traveled, so I'd imagine they've made some development on the practice field.
Yeah, I mean, I this is my 5th year, and I didn't see legitimate playing time until my 4th year. There was a lot of legitimate growth that like I had to go through to earn the right to play, and I completely understood. I don't think I was ready to play my first 3 years, but with Drew Shelton and Venga, I mean, they're so athletic, and they've picked up the offense pretty well, and it's their first years here, so I think they've got a bigger head start than I did coming in. They're great guys, and they are very good football players. So I think real soon you guys will start to see just how much work they've been putting in to become better alignment. So I think you guys will see that soon.
Final question, Rich Scarcella.
Bryce, you touched on this a few minutes ago, but besides the obvious success on the field, in what ways have Nick Singleton and Katron Allen impacted you guys up front, the offense in general, the team in general? what have they brought to this team?
It's a great question. I think to put it in the simplest of ways is they've brought just energy, and I touched on a little bit before earlier with them running the 80 yards down the field and them just coming in. But there's a reason you come to a school like Penn State to play football, is because growing up, you were watching, whether it was Penn State football or other schools, like Penn State football was an amazing program. And when you get here, you realize how amazing it is. And like your freshman year is like you're like almost like a deer in headlights. Like it's so much at once for an 18-year-old that it's almost hard to take it in at sometimes and like process how amazing it is to be here. And when you have guys like Kaden and Nick Singleton back there that are younger guys, and they're feeling like the energy of like the stadium and the fans and like what Penn State football is for the first time in their first year. Like they just like it's incredible. And guys like me that are like in their fifth year or like fourth year, we're a little bit more used to it, and it doesn't go away, but we are used to that kind of feeling. And to see younger guys like just for the first time being like, oh my gosh, like there's 107,000 people, like I just scored a touchdown, like oh, like I can't, like this, I dreamed of this when I was a kid. And it's like to see younger guys like that experiencing it. I mean, it's something of beauty, really. It's something to see. I love it. It's probably one of the best feelings to have as an older guy, is to just know that the younger guys are having a great time. So that's what I got to say. It's awesome.